Are you in there? Dad, what are you doing? Is this what turning 50 does to you? Endless trips down memory lane?
Nicholas, please, I'm not 50 yet. Let's not rush it. Why, are you still taking pictures? When is this photojournalism assignment of yours going to end?
It's due sometime next week. And besides, I still got a lot more questions to ask and even more pictures to take.
You've asked me everything under the sun. There's nothing left.
Testing, testing. Dad, how many times do you think you've shaved in the past 50 years? Dad, statistics are a very big part of a good essay.
All right, I didn't start to strop until I was 16.
Strop. What?
Strop, that's what you did when you... Never mind, you wouldn't understand. I started to shave when I was 16. That's 34 years times 365 days, except, of course, for vacations and weekends and the times I just said the heck with it. That means that I must have shaved about 100,000 times.
Oh, Dad. 35 years times 300 days is even only about 10,000. We're talking 12,000 max here.
All right, I stand corrected.
Now, how would you describe it? Getting up in the years, I mean, how does it feel to be 50?
It doesn't feel any different. It just sneaks up on you. I mean, I feel like I was 20 years old inside. It's just that time is different. I mean, here it is, Monday morning. I turn around and all of a sudden it's Sunday night. Blink a couple of times and it's the middle of next month. Boy, I tell you, it's scary.
Great. You know, Dad, your face has held up pretty well for half a century.
Oh, thank heavens you haven't seen the aging portrait up in the attic.
What?
Never mind, you'd never understand that. Let's go.
I'm boiling a couple of eggs for myself. Anybody want me to throw some in for them?
I'm Mike Rocky. I drink my eggs. Too much stuff to do today, Dad. I'll catch breakfast on the road, okay?
Okay, Nicholas.
Bye, Abby.
Bye, Nicholas.
See ya. Oh, are those the same blueberries that you froze last summer?
Is that a complaint?
No, not at all. Well, hardly at all. If you're looking for your client's ad, it's right there.
Well, I thought it was going to be in the entertainment section. What's it doing in editorials and opinions?
Take your complaints to the advertising department. Don't bother the managing editor.
The managing editor. You know, I still get goosebumps when I see your name on the masthead.
Better than the hiccups. You haven't heard from any of the kids, have you?
Yes, Susan called yesterday. They don't know how they can make it out this time of year.
Well, now, you're not leaning on them, are you, to get them out here?
Why would I do that?
Well, my birthday's coming up and...
Tom, in a family this size, somebody's birthday's always coming up.
Oh, no.
What?
How did I miss this? There's a word missing on the front page. Not just any word, the most significant word in journalism, alleged.
In our next paragraph, we do say alleged. The alleged polluters. Could refer back to the paragraph before, cover our tails.
We're not in the tail covering business. We're journalists. We're not going to pass the buck to electronics. Any error in this paper is human error. Why? Because we didn't see it.
Mr. Bradford, looks like Mr. Randolph read the front page, too.
Of course he reads the front page. It's his newspaper, for heaven's sake. Oh, I see what you mean.
My story, Tom. I'll take the rap for it.
No. I'm the managing editor. The buck stops with me. Only I think I know who I'll be talking to when this is done.
You?
Reprieve. All right, now the Superior Court selection. Do you have verification of Kaufman's statement? His alleged statement?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Oh, perfect. Nicholas, I love it. Thank you, friend, for the blow-up. It's as good as any lab.
I will.
No, hon. Those are going to go on the back cover. See, it's going to be hinged to open like a birthday card, and all the messages will be on the back.
I see.
Here, I'll start. By the way, those baby pictures are all going to be on the inside, too, so you might sort them, starting out with Mary. It says on the back who's who.
This is Tommy, but it looks more like Elizabeth.
No, when I took them out of the album, I was real careful to mark each one, just so I wouldn't make a mistake.
Think he'll come, Tommy?
I don't know. Called him in Tahoe. He didn't really give me a definite yes or no. Said something about his schedule being up in the air. Guess the life of a lounge singer is pretty crazed.
Yeah. Well, it might be just as well he doesn't come.
Nicholas, no negative thoughts. Now we're gonna put this party together and it's gonna work. Right? Right?
Right.
Right.
I'm in.
Oh, Elliot, I'll come back later.
No, Tom, come in, please. Tom, I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Leona Stark of the Wall Street firm McPhee, Addison, Dempsey, and Stark. This is my managing editor, Tom Bradford.
How do you do?
Please. Do we go on?
Well, I suppose so. Sit down, Tom, sit down. You're going to find out about this sooner or later.
Very well. Well, as a part of the orderly transfer, we're prepared to offer liberal severance pay. Managing editor, up to 2 years. Scale down for lesser staff members. Oh, any questions, problems can be ironed out tomorrow, 10 o'clock. This is Leona. Yes, I'll be in 10 minutes. A Cobb salad, iced tea. Thank you. Oh, if you'd like to call me when you've had a chance to think it over. Pleased to meet you.
Severance pay for the managing editor?
Oh, thanks very much, Rose. Tom, she represents the Kirshner newspaper syndicate, and, well, they've made an offer to buy the Register, and it's the kind of offer I...
Can't refuse.
Tom, try to see it my way, will you? It's the kind of an offer, it's just a once-in-a-lifetime chance.
Elliot, you don't have to justify this for me. I mean, it's your newspaper. You should be able to do whatever you want to do with it.
Oh, but I intend to make it as part of the deal that you stay on as managing editor. I mean, at your own terms for as long as you like.
But Kirshner Papers has kind of a sleazy reputation, doesn't it? I mean, it's one of those things that says, my cocker spaniel is a Martian and all that stuff.
Oh, Tom, I have their solemn word of honor that they will upgrade their journalistic standards.
And the check is in the mail.
Tom, look, I didn't want you to hear about it this way. You know me better than this. We've been friends for so long. Couldn't we have dinner together or something?
Oh, sometime later. Right now, I just sort of like to be by myself and think about this. Sort this thing out.
Oh, Tom.
Abby, Dad's home.
Very fun.
No, I'm serious.
Cut it out.
Really, I just saw his car.
You're serious,
Yes.
really? Oh, all right, okay. Don't have everything in boxes. That's it. Get the card. I'll be right with you. All right, easy now. We don't want to ruin it. That's it. Okay. Here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, living room, behind the piano. Good, good.
Okay. Oh.
Oh. Good. Whew.
What's he doing out there?
I don't know. I'll go see. Tom?
All 8 kids grew up in this house. 6 of them came straight here from the maternity ward.
Tom, are you all right?
That real estate friend of yours, you said she was a whiz?
Roberta? Yeah, but what's that got to do
I
with...
want you to stick with me on this, Abby. It's very important to me. I've got to come up with $300,000, $400,000, maybe even more.
What? Tom, there's no way we can lay our hands on that kind of money. And why? I don't understand what...
I want to buy the newspaper. I need a lot of cash just to make the down payment. I figure the only way that we can do it is to take everything we've got and put it on the line. Abby, I want to sell the house.
Now, I won't be too late. Tom? Oh. I wouldn't go out at all, except the electrical fixtures were installed on the job today, and the only way I can check them out is at night. Gee, I wish Nicholas hadn't gone out. I just hate to leave you alone.
No, don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Well, if you want to talk when I get back...
There's nothing to talk about. I've given this plenty of thought. Only, listen, don't tell Nicholas or the rest of the kids. I mean, they have their own problems. No need for them to be concerned with mine.
You know, Tom, you were so supportive of me when I wanted to go into business, so anything you feel you have to do, I'm with you. For better or worse, richer or poorer. Remember all that good stuff?
Yeah, I remember. And I'm lucky that you remember, too. What is a house, anyway, right? It's just 4 walls and a roof. Nothing more. Just a lot of glass, wood, and plaster. A negotiable asset.
Keep saying it. You might even start to believe it. I'll see you later.
Just 4 walls and a roof. Nothing more. Elliot, how much time have those Kirshner guys given you?
Oh, they're really putting the squeeze on. They've moved the appointment ahead. She's due here in about 10 minutes. Why?
I want you to sell the newspaper. To me.
To you?
I wish you didn't sound so shocked.
Abby! It's Mary! Wait, man, freeze. Hey!
Good to see you.
Hi, Nicholas.
Hi, Abby. Hi.
Wait, let me get to one of the
Yeah,
three.
okay. I didn't expect you guys till the weekend.
Well, the university's given us more lab space on campus, so I thought during the move, the good doctor here could use a little time away from DNA molecules.
And I'll be able to help you prepare for the invasion of the Bradfords. Great.
Let me get the luggage.
Okay, wait, let me get the one to you.
Oh, good. All right, here we go. All these old pictures are so beautiful. And a picture of Mom. Abby, you are something. Seemed only right that she be on the car. I mean, after all, without her, none of you'd be here. Then what would your dad have to celebrate?
Oh, he'd have a bunch. He'd have you.
Oh, there.
I'm so happy to see you. You too.
If there's something I can clarify for you.
Now, if I understand you correctly, the Kirshner Syndicate intends to totally computerize the press room. Now, won't that mean major layoffs for most of the staff?
We don't like to use the word layoffs. We efficientize. And yes, it will eliminate a lot of dead wood.
Efficientize? To what extent? I mean, how many people?
40 or 50%.
Oh, that is a radical cut.
Well, radical surgery is sometimes necessary when the patient is critically ill. Now, if computers can land a 747, they can gather and print the news. I mean, local news isn't cost efficient. What the public wants is high visibility celebrity profiles.
So while you're efficientizing some of the best people in the business into the unemployment line, you'll also be turning out a gutter-level scandal sheet.
Refresh my memory. You're Mr.
Bradford, managing editor. That is, unless, of course, you efficientize me.
And you're concerned about long-time friends and associates being thrown out of work, hmm?
That's absolutely correct. Your briefcase is calling.
Yes. I'm leaving right now. Well, if they can't wait, then the deal's off. They can wait. Mr. Randolph, I will be leaving for corporate headquarters in Hong Kong for 6 days. When I return, I will have a cashier's check drawn to you for $1 million. The stock options and other benefits we've already discussed. Now, if you don't like it, you can tell me then, and we'll be on our merry way. But that will be our final offer. You poor dear. How you must miss Little House on the Prairie.
Ooh. $1 million. Do you know how hard it is to say no to that?
Just say no. Ask Nancy Reagan. It's a snap.
Ah, you've done a terrible thing to me, activating my conscience. Tom, do you really think you'll be able to raise that money in time?
Oh, not that kind of money in 4 to 6 days. For Pete's sakes, no.
Just something competitive, something equitable. You know, a bona fide offer. Oh, Tom, I don't want the paper to end up in their hands any more than you do, but I do want to retire. Every year I say to my wife, next year, next year. I don't know. What if there isn't a next year? Huh?
I know the feeling. And I'm beginning to realize it more and more with each passing day.
You look wonderful. I can't believe that it's been 2 years since we've seen each other.
Mary, it's been 3 years. Remember? Sandy's 6 now. We were here on her 3rd birthday.
You're looking good, Merle. You staying in shape?
Yeah, you're looking good too, Chuck. Great. Put on a couple of pounds, huh?
Looks are deceiving. It's just soft muscle.
That's
Oh.
How'd the surgery go? Rotator cuff, right?
Yeah. Well, it's too soon to say yet. Can't throw full out, but I'll be there come spring training.
If you guys can't get out here to see us, we're just gonna have to get back to Cleveland to see you.
We might not be in Cleveland, Mary. See, being married to a baseball player is kind of like being married to a gypsy without the tambourine.
Susan, why don't we go unpack?
Sounds like a great idea, Merle. Stay here, honey.
Abby, thanks very much.
No problem.
Abby!
In the kitchen, hon.
Oh, boy, if today had been a dog, it would have bitten me. I had...
Tom? How's it going, Tom?
Hi, Dad.
Wow, look who's here. Mary, Chuck, Merle, Susan, my little granddaughter, Randy. Oh, boy, you have no right to get so big and do that to your grandfather. Now, wait a minute. Does this have anything to do with my birthday?
Oh, Tom, is it going to be your birthday?
It's a secret, Grandpa, in the living room, but I can't tell you what it is.
Tom, you just got home after a miserable day. What you need is a shower.
I don't need a shower.
We'll be the judge of that. You're exhausted. A shower is just what you need.
No, what I need is to just sit down in the living room.
You sit down in the living room. What you'll need is a body cast. Go.
I think we better get that cart out of the living room.
Merle, be careful with your arm.
Susan, my arm is fine.
Yeah, your arm's about as fine as we are.
Here, let me give you a hand.
No, Merle, we have it covered. Thanks.
Merle, we got it covered. Right, I'll just hang back.
Good idea. Okay, I got him in the shower. Bring it upstairs. I thought of a place to hide it. Okay. Are you sure Arnold Schwarzenegger started like this?
Oh, no, he had a thicker accent, among other things.
You guys don't need my help with that, do you? Good, I got a date. Bye.
Bye.
How you doing?
Okay.
Okay, good. Just follow me.
Whoa.
We got it. We're doing it. We got it.
You all right, Mary?
What the heck was that?
Nothing, hon. I was getting blankets for everybody. I must have bumped into something. It's okay. Quiet. Don't get cold.
John O'Hara, my turn.
Newspaper and magazine columns. I found it in your dad's study.
That's what he's all about. Newspaper.
Yeah, and family.
He's so happy to see us. I'm really glad we came. Merle used to pitch for the New York Mets.
I know. I'm the baseball freak, remember?
Cleveland. Is that what you call being traded down?
No, but coming off an injury like that, it does sort of look like he's considered damaged goods.
You see, Chuck, that's what I don't understand. The surgery was over 4 months ago. Now, if Merle hasn't tested his pitching arm, I think it's because he's afraid that if...
Mary, you're playing doctor again.
You want to play doctor, too?
Merle, are you awake?
You haven't leveled with me, Tom.
Oh, sure I have. I told you everything.
You've told me the way things stand, it's going to take a lot more than just selling the house to buy the paper. That we'd have to cut back on the way we live.
And that wouldn't be fair to you.
You said that, too. Mm-hmm. What you haven't said is what owning the paper would mean to you.
Well, save the jobs, the community's right to the free and open...
Not to the principled managing editor. What it would mean to you, the man, Tom Bradford.
Tom Bradford. Had an old Underwood typewriter. Used to pound out stories just for myself. Couldn't have been more than 12 years old. I remember the first time I learned the difference between the words imply and infer. I thought I'd been given the keys to the kingdom. All those old movies. Stop the presses, extra, read all about it. I used to see myself up there on the screen. Press carded, my hat band. In my heart, I knew I was destined to be a newspaper man, editor, publisher, owner. But then all of a sudden, I had a house full of kids. I didn't want to take any risks. I just wanted to keep my job. Nothing wrong with that, no complaints. It's just that I couldn't help think deep down that if it were my newspaper, maybe my words could help make the world different. Nothing gigantic, just something to leave behind so that maybe somebody would know that I had passed by. 50. Half a century. 50 years old. I used to fantasize that there was a Pulitzer up there with my name on it. And then I'd tell myself, there'll be time. There'll be time. And then...
Mr. Bradford, sir. I didn't marry you because you look like Robert Redford, because you don't. And I didn't marry you because you're worth millions of dollars, because you aren't. And I didn't marry you because you always remember the punchline to the jokes, because you don't. I married you for smiles, for warmth, for dreams, and you delivered. And don't you ever in the world forget that.
What the heck is that? Tommy, you better turn that thing down. The neighbors are gonna be out here with the posse.
Abby, Dad, this is Dawn. She works at the club I was playing.
Nice to meet you.
Are you a performer, Dawn?
Well, you could say my daily grind is more of a bump and grind, if you follow me.
We left right after the Night Owl show. We just thought we'd stop by and say hi and then go over to my place to crash.
Without something to eat?
That sounds like a great idea. Besides, gotta pay a visit, if you follow me.
Why not? Yeah, you know, working the Lounge Act used to be real B-grade stuff, but not anymore. I mean, now it's where all the action is.
It's the only room in Tahoe with lasers.
Oh, Don't tell me. Lights up, does a backflip, and plays Dixie.
That's funny. You should do stand-up.
Dad, I pack them in every night. I'm considered very hot.
Tommy, what happened to your old group?
Yeah, you guys were really going places. Well, my agent said we were going nowhere, so I blew them off. I'm much better off as a single anyway.
Yeah, but the guys in the band, I mean, they must really miss you. I mean, how are they going to get along without you?
Look, Nicholas, if you haven't learned it yet, you might as well learn it now. There's only one person to look out for. That's yourself.
Tommy, can I see you for a minute?
Don't get on my back like you always do.
You can dress up like a lounge lizard if that's where you're at, but don't bring that sleazy talk into this house.
Sleazy with my name in the lobby?
It's my name, too, and if you're gonna use it, spell it right, T-O-M-M-E. And I'll thank you not to hand down your shoddy values to Nicholas.
In the first place, I'm not a lounge lizard, and there's nothing wrong with my values.
Looking out for number one? That's something you do if there's a puppy sitting in your lap. As a blueprint for humanity, it stinks.
You're just jealous because I'm going to be a star. That's it, isn't it?
If you're gonna be a star, then I'm gonna be Pope.
What?
Tommy, I've seen your act. A little Paul Anka, a little Bobby Darin, a little Engelbubble Humpeldinkle, whatever his name is. Whatever happened to Tommy Bradford? He was an original. He created music. He didn't sound like a leather muzak. Whatever happened to the real Tommy Bradford?
The real Tommy Bradford just came home. And it looks to me like it was a big mistake.
What's the big hurry?
Just get in the car.
Hey, Tommy, I didn't get to take your picture yet.
I've had 8 kids. 7 of them turned out fine. That's a pretty good batting average.
1000% is the only batting average that works for a parent, Tom, and you both know it.
Everybody, Elizabeth and Mark are here.
Wait.
So, you guys employ a CPA. Business must be pretty good.
Well, not exactly a CPA. We restored an old 52 Mercury he was in love with, so he advises us on stuff like that.
Half the people we restore cars for don't even pay us in cash. Everything is trading services.
Yeah, it's great when we restore a car for someone who owns a gourmet restaurant. When it's a guy who's a prune broker, the negotiations get a little tough. One more bag.
I'll be right back then.
Okay. Sure you guys are gonna want a shower, so here's some towels.
Oh, thank you, Abby.
Elizabeth? How you doing?
Well, it's been a long drive. You're right. A shower would be...
That's not what I'm talking about, and you know it.
I know. I think it's gonna take us some time to snap back. We're doing okay.
Yeah?
Not great, but okay.
Is there anything
I have been waiting for you to get home. You're the only one who can make me a peanut butter and pickle sandwich just the way I like it. Would you mind?
Do bodybuilders eat peanut butter and pickle sandwiches?
This one does.
Now, wait a minute. What do you mean the real estate lady isn't there yet? I thought you said she was a friend of yours.
Tom, will you stop worrying? She'll be here
She said definitely at 3:30 with a prospect.
Well, what about the kids? They're not around, are they? I don't want them to know about the house here.
Tom, relax. I got them all out of the house. They had errands to run.
Errands? What errands?
Tom, will you give it a rest? I've got it covered, okay?
Okay. Now, you call me as soon as the real estate lady leaves.
Yes. Oh, Tom, she's here. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi, Roberta. I was
Hi,
just
Abby.
leaving. Come in, please.
Now, this is a lovely entry. You know, most houses today cut down on this essential space. But the whole living room has been designed with the most comfort imaginable. Not to mention the great amount of sunlight throughout the day.
Hold it.
Wow, what a greeting.
Well, the picture taking is really supposed to be Nicholas's job, but he's at school. David, you should see the birthday card we are making for your dad. It is so great, and everybody has to sign in.
Well, let's go sign in.
Well, not right now. First, I need your help. I need you to help me find something, a skateboard.
Abby, I'm not really dressed for skateboarding.
It's to put under the card. The thing weighs a ton. I need some way to wheel it around.
Okay, let's go.
Aha. Success. Great, thanks.
Hey. Remember when I was on a Robin Hood kick?
I think that's a little before I came on the scene, David.
Oh, yeah. Well, I made one heck of a Robin Hood.
So how's life treating you, Robin Hood?
Can't complain. After the Seattle building's completed, they've asked me to design a mall in Spokane.
Good for you. By the way, I ran into Janet the other day. Her law practice sure is booming.
I don't quite see the connection between Janet's law practice and a mall in Spokane.
Well, I was just wondering if you were going to see her this time while you're home.
Abby, we're divorced. That means end of.
And Tommy's in town. He and your dad had words.
Was it the phrase end of that brought Dad and Tommy to mind?
David, listen. I want this birthday to really be just perfect. So could you just talk to him?
I'll do what I can, but he's not wild about my advice either.
Well, just try, okay?
Okay. Who were they?
A friend of mine and her committee, they're going to use the house for a charity event. I'll be right back, David.
Roberta? Oh, excuse me. Abby.
Well,
Oh, I don't think so, Abby.
that sounds pretty definite.
Abby, some people have such bizarre notions about what they need in a house. For instance, that couple I just showed the house to, they're into numerology.
So?
Promise me you won't be offended. But, well, they pointed out to me that you have an odd number of bathrooms and an even number of bedrooms, and the kitchen is...
On the wrong side of the house. Where else are you supposed to put a kitchen? Why does she even bother to show the house to people like that? I thought she was supposed to be a friend.
Tom, she is a friend, and a good one. Now, she has another couple lined up, people in a bind to relocate.
Mr. Bradford, Mr. Randolph on line 3.
Oh, thanks, Donna. Listen, Abby, I'm gonna have to put you on hold. Look, Elliot, as soon as I get a definite answer, I will call you right away. Yes. Bye. Abby? Hello, Abby? Abby?
Oh,
Abby, is that you?
of course it's me.
What do you mean, of course? I've been talking to an empty telephone for a decade. Now, look, about getting a buyer for the house.
We need one. I know, Tom. I've got the message, and right now I've got a lot of stuff to do.
Well, what stuff? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Well, putting this whole thing together isn't exactly a piece of cake, you know.
What whole thing together? What? What do you mean? What?
Nothing, Tom. It's not important. Got to go now. Bye.
Oh, goodbye, Abby.
I can't believe this. I mean, my sister gets asked for an autograph.
It's no big deal, Mary.
What do you mean, no big deal?
Well, it's not. What you do for a living could actually save lives. Now, that's what's important.
Oh.
François, pas trop loin, s'il te plaît.
Yeah, but what I do does not get me kissed by Jean-Paul Belmondo.
Oh, Jody, I could not believe that scene with the two of you in the shower.
Well, that was acting. That water was very cold.
Oh, yeah? Then where was the steam coming from?
Mama, there is an American candy machine there. I never had an American candy.
Francois, after lunch, all right?
Well, there's no time like the present, right?
I can teach him. I'm real good at candy.
He's real good at candy.
Well, listen, you guys, don't take forever making up your minds. You know, we got to get your mom's bags.
Oh, boy. He looks like a handful.
Oh, he is. Takes after his father.
No, Jean-Pierre still won't be able to come?
No, he's on location. The weather has him 3 weeks behind schedule.
I don't see how you guys keep it going. You're shooting a film in one place. He's directing one someplace else. Don't the separations just drive you crazy?
The separations are difficult, but the reconciliations are the best.
Which explains where the steam coming from.
Come in.
Bonsoir, grand-père.
Francois! Well, for Pete's sakes. Hey, your mother, where is she? Oh, my God. Now, this is the way the Bradford house should look. You sneaky little thing. You got everybody here. Everybody, that is, except Tommy.
And Nancy.
Oh, and Nancy.
Why, am I missing something? Yes, we all are. We're missing dinner.
Jody, let's talk about it later.
Can I see you for a second? Listen, I owe you an apology.
Why? What for?
Well, today on the phone, I was really very...
Sorry, someone forgot to put the napkins out.
Anyway, I guess some of this craziness has started to get to me, and I know I was pretty snippy, and there was no reason...
Paper towels. Sandy spilled her milk.
There you go.
That's her.
Anyway, you were asking some perfectly legitimate questions, Tom. There was no reason for me to...
eating meatloaf without ketchup on it. No way. It's not a statement about the cooking, Abby. It's just a cultural way of life. Sorry. Excuse me.
Ah, when this house fills up, a person can't even apologize in private.
What are you talking about? You just did. Now, may I accompany you to dinner, madame?
I do think that Dad's been worried about Nancy. I think we all have.
Well, she got married so sudden. Nobody's even met the guy except for Dad and Abby.
Really?
You see, they went up to Montana, got snowed in for the wedding, and they had to ride a snowplow to the preacher's.
No.
Spent about an hour with Nancy and her husband.
But a sheep ranch. I mean, that's the last thing in the world, I would imagine, for Nancy.
I know.
Is he... Oh, what's his name?
Jeb?
Jeb. Is Jeb coming with her?
She said on the phone that it was lambing season or shearing, whatever it is you do with sheep. So I guess he isn't. 10-page spread and the cover, and she chooses the sheep rancher, the shepherd. What do you call Jeb?
You call him the owner of the sheep, Elizabeth. I think what we should all be worried about is she happy?
Here she comes. Oh.
Anybody see her?
Oh, there she is.
Really?
I'm so glad you made it.
Oh, Mary, it's good to see you. Great. Hi. This is Jeb.
Hi, Jeb. I'm Mary.
Excuse me. Howdy, Jeb. Susan.
Hi, I'm Joni. Welcome to the Bradfords. Hi, I'm Elizabeth. Good to meet you.
Looks silly, but it's great for the heart.
Believe it.
if you're here because of Dad, you're wasting your time.
Whatever happened to hi, David? Glad to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you.
Me too. How long you had this place?
About 6 months, just before I got that Tahoe gig.
It reminds me of the place I had when I first moved out, remember? Of course, I never had your caliber of house guest.
Yeah, well, Dawn's a friend. She's someone I can count on.
Whatever you say. Abby's expecting us for dinner.
Yeah, well, I'm eating here.
You want to fast?
Look, David, I'm not going. If I did, Dad'd get indigestion.
Come on. Try to see his point. Give him a chance. Sure, he was disappointed when you didn't go to college.
Oh, well, you dropped out of college, and look where you are. You're rolling in the bucks.
First of all, I'm not rolling in anything. Second, it's not bucks that impress him. It's doing something you love to do. And if Dad thought you were happy and getting somewhere, like you seemed to be before you walked out on the group...
Now, look, David, give it a break, okay?
Get dressed. You're going to dinner.
You don't have the right to tell me what to do.
You're right, I don't. But Abby knows I was coming over here to talk to you. And if Abby knows, it's a fair bet that Dad'll find out. And if you don't show, that's like saying you don't want to be a part of the family anymore. Which you surely have the right to say. So you just say that to me and I'll be out of here. Absolutely. I mean, they just did it. Well, it blew me away. Here I am talking architectural restoration. And my financial partners come up with $50 million. I mean, doesn't everybody? Well, there's hope for a young man to become one of the big buck boys.
How about a middle-aged man? What are the odds on that?
So, Jeb, who takes care of things when you're away?
We have a couple of hands, and they're wise filling for Nancy's well.
What kind of work you do on a farm, Nancy? Feed the chickens, put up preserves?
Oh, that's part of it, Susan.
No way. Like blue ribbon at the state fair?
Well, that's county, and it's a gold ribbon, first prize.
So, Merle, are you going to country this spring training? I mean, I don't know where the Indians train, but I figure it's got to be somewhere in the boonies of Florida.
Well, I'm not sure yet that it's going to be Cleveland. Susan liked to live here in California, so maybe I ought to be thinking about the Angels.
Sandra! No way, really. Jody, it's all right. I did a check. Yeah,
They train in Phoenix. Nicholas picked a college yet?
He's thinking of Harvard when he isn't thinking about girls.
Oh, yes. Now, you know, Jeb went to college. He graduated magna cum laude at the University of Wyoming.
All right.
What did you major in, ranch management? No, that's a seat of the pants course. It's best learned in the saddle.
Oh, he's being very modest. He majored in medieval and European history, and he plays the piano beautifully.
Really? What kind of piano do you play?
Usual kind. 88 keys.
Does anybody have the time? I have to be somewhere.
Yeah.
7:24.
7:27. 7:28. I got 7:26.
Yes, his watch is always on time. Come, show him.
Oh, let me see it.
It's an antique heirloom, and it chimes the hour. See on the back it says 1876?
Oh, yeah. You cowboys certainly don't wear a watch like this out on the range.
Well, sometimes we rely on modern invention. Even hitch up, go to the city once in a while. Buy Nancy a scrap of calico. And it's not cowboy, it's sheepman.
Well, you know, there you go.
You realize what we were doing? We were patronizing him.
I know it, and I was as bad as the rest. Oh, what kind of piano? I didn't know what to say to him.
Well, he is kind of quiet.
He's very articulate. I think he's an intelligent guy. What's ever bothering him and Nancy, that's their business.
You were apologizing for me. Are you ashamed of me? Is that what it is?
You don't understand. This is my family. They expect certain things of me.
High-powered model. Look, I am the same guy down here as I am up there. If that's not good enough for you, Nancy, then I'm sorry.
Oh, Mary, I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, Dad, no, you won't bother me if I don't bother you.
Kids don't bother their parents. They drive us crazy sometimes, but we get used to that. Funny Bunny goes to the city.
I beg your pardon?
That used to be your favorite story when you were 3, 4 years old. I used to read it to you all the time. Now here you are, pumping iron. It sure takes some getting used to.
That's just because you've never tried it, Dad.
Well, it's too late to start now.
Oh, no, it's not. Dad, why don't you try this just for me, okay?
No, I hate that
No,
kind
no,
of
this
stuff.
is going to relieve stress. Come on. Come on,
I
try
really
it.
don't want to.
Oh, please, for me. Come on, sit down. Here we go.
What I'm doing for you, I hate this.
This gets me excited. Come on. Lean back. Watch your head.
Oh, it's such a stupid position.
No, no. Grab here right now. I'm going to spot you, so don't worry. Here we go. And 1.
Oh, down is easy. I hate the up part.
Oh, come on, 2.
Mary, you out there?
Yeah.
I need to talk to you, sir.
Okay, I'll be right back, okay? Keep going, Dad.
Listen, we're putting the cars in the drive in the order that people are leaving tomorrow. Do you need to get out early?
I'm going running first thing in the morning. Probably won't get the car till about 10 when I go shopping.
Where are you going shopping?
You bet.
Why don't you come running with me? No, I promised Sandy and Francois I'd play with them. Are these your keys?
Yeah.
Bye.
And 10.
I can't get...
Good. Did you like that?
No, I hate it. Oh, it's awful. Why did I do that?
Make you feel?
No, I feel terrible. That's the stupidest thing I ever did. Oh, what a dopey thing to do.
What is this?
Easy decision, because it hasn't been. But it's a decision that's been made, and I think that we should stick with it.
Dad, this is our home.
Elizabeth, how long has it been since you've lived here? And Mary? And Joni, you're out of the country. Tommy's on the road. David has a condo, and Nancy has a Montana.
Yeah, and I've got wherever it is we get traded to.
You're all on your own, and Nicholas soon will be. In a few days, you're going to be going back to your own lives, and that's the way it should be, and I'll be trying to straighten out my life, and that's the way it should be, and I guess that's why they call it life. A decision has been made. If it's a mistake, so be it. It's a mistake. But I'd like to think that after 50 years, I'm entitled to make a mistake on my own, and that the people I love will understand.
I don't want to move, Tommy. I mean, this is the only place I've ever lived. We can't let Dad sell the house. That's something you wrote?
Nah, it's just something I'm fooling around with. Nicholas, if I ask you a question, am I going to get a straight answer?
Sure. I mean, if I know the answer.
The other day when Dad and I had that go-around out in the hall, he said that he'd seen me play. What is he talking about? He hasn't seen me play since high school.
Yes, he has. You see, Dad had this editors' convention up in Frisco when you were doing your Tahoe gig. He caught an early flight up in time for your show in the lounge. He said he didn't want to bug you, so he just stood in the back and watched.
Well, I guess he didn't like what he saw, huh?
No, he said you were fine. But he also said he liked you being you better than you trying to be 8 other guys.
How's the soup? Oh, great. Pretty much charcoal. Can't do anything right.
I'll help you with that. Get this stuff out of the way.
Oh, it's just the lived-in look. You know, the Bradfords are famous for it.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Hey, Susan, you and Merle want this thing? It's too hot for us. We snuggle a lot, you know?
Well, Merle and I don't. Here.
Our old room. Somehow we always ended up doing our hair in here, you know?
Giving each other manicures.
Yeah, and our famous truth sessions, remember that?
These walls.
Talk.
How long do you suppose it's been that we've all been in here together, talking about what's bugging us? And look at us now. Polite strangers. Lots of small talk, but not much more.
Oh, we do a lot of talking.
Yeah, when you're not on the phone to Paris.
Well, you're hung up on your husband, too, Elizabeth.
So is Mary.
Okay, all right. Is this gonna be a bickering session? Fine. Okay, I'll start. I'll tell you what's bugging me. This house is gonna be sold. There's not gonna be a Bradford house. But the one thing that isn't gonna change is the fact that we're all sisters. And if one of us is hurting and can't tell the other, then how can we help? I mean, isn't that what being sisters is about, Susan?
Merle. He knows his arm isn't getting any better. He won't admit it. He won't talk about it. He won't talk to me. If I didn't have Sandy to fuss over, I don't know what I'd do.
Susan, maybe Merle just doesn't think you're proud of him.
Not proud. Guys, I wouldn't care if he was the best baseball player in the whole world, or if he sold hot dogs in the stands. It's a man I love, not what he does for a living.
Susan, have you told him that? Have you told him the truth?
We don't talk.
Well, what about you, Elizabeth? Are you telling us the truth about what's happening with you?
Take your time. We'll wait.
Well, it's not like I've been lying or anything. But maybe there's some things that I could have told you. Should have. I had a miscarriage last year. Oh. No, I told Abby not to tell you guys because there is nothing that you could have done. It was just something that Mark and I had to get through is all. Did you get through? Part way. But not all the way. Not yet. Because, what happened last year, oh, it just hurt so darn much.
Oh. I'm so glad you said something.
No.
Nancy. It's truth session. Come on.
Come on.
Are you happy?
I always
always thought that happy meant having a good time, you know, looking beautiful. But what I feel now is something different. I feel content. Really? Why didn't you give us a hint? Why did you come on like you'd forgotten how to smile? Well, you guys were all so happy when I was living in Manhattan. The fast lane, the magazine covers, all that. The fact is, I hated New York.
You hated it?
Really? What? And I didn't tell you guys because I thought that you would think I'd blown it again.
Honey. And what about now? What about Jeb?
Jeb is real special. And our land is as far as you can see. And we're building something together. I mean, it's hard work. We almost never see any cash. What with the mortgages and the taxes and coyotes and blizzards get some of the stock, but there are lambs and sunsets like fire. And always there's Jeb. You know, I'll see him riding out. He'll be just a dot on the horizon. And then there he'll be beside me. Gosh, I love where we live. And I love how we live. And I love him. And for heaven's sakes, don't be afraid to show it.
You are lucky.
Hey, guys. Sorry to interrupt, but we all have to get out for a while. Somebody's coming to look at the house.
Oh,
sorry.
well, I promised the kids ice cream anyway.
Okay, thanks. I'll talk to him. Okay, I'm going to be over at the job if anybody needs me.
All right,
okay?
all right. Okay, great, Abby.
I wonder what happened to the guys.
Whoa, a little high, but that might keep you in single A for a week or two.
I guess I could work on my cure for athletes.
All right, here we go. Bring her in here now. Here we go. Come on.
No, little tight, little tight.
Hey, now let's see something a little more pop to it. You got a curveball?
No such thing as a curveball. It's nothing but an optical illusion. Well, they've been paying me some awful good money all these years for nothing but an optical illusion. You throw it, I'll tape it. Scientific evidence. Careful.
Okay, now take her easy on me. Here we go.
Hold it! Hold it, hey! Just a minute there. All right, enough of this mail bonding nonsense. Move him out, Jeb. You've just been replaced.
Susan? Susan.
Look, old buddy, if you're finally gonna cut loose with a high, hard one, I want to be on the receiving end, okay? All right, let her rip.
much smoke on that one, mister.
Well, maybe it wasn't a very good pitch, but at least it hurt a lot to throw it. It's over, Susan.
Oh, I know that. I've known that for a long time. What about us? Are we over?
I need you now more than ever, babe.
Is your arm too sore to hug a wife? Walking home, guys.
Oh, well, well. I'm glad to see that the Bradford weakness for midnight snacks is still intact.
Le peanut butter avec gelée. Très bien.
Oh, yes. Thanks a lot. I am hungry. It's nice to come home and see you awake. You awake.
You fatigué?
Oh, I'm pooped.
Pouf? Je ne sais pas. Pouf.
French is a great language. I mean, it's so strong, so sure of itself. I wish I could be that sure right now. All I'm sure of is that I'm scared to death, that I've bitten off more than I can chew, that I've made some terrible mistake and my kids are going to suffer for it. All I'm sure of is my growing sense of uncertainty.
Well, there you are. What are my two night owls talking about?
Family.
Bonsoir. Au lit.
Oh, maman.
Et pas d'argument. Je t'adore, mais il est très tard. Bonne nuit, mon chéri. À demain.
I see you in the room.
Oh, yes. I'll be here to be seen.
Oh. That is not what you want.
Oh, no, no. He's the one that you're the mother to. Ours is the father-daughter relationship.
Don't you remember, Dad? When I was about 9 or 10 years old, you were working really late one night, and I felt so sorry for you. I came down here to the kitchen to fix you something to eat. And all I could find was a can of sardines. So I made you a sardine sandwich, and I brought it into you with a glass of milk. Oh, and I remember how you just brightened up. And every time after that, when you were working late, I would make you a sardine sandwich. It's the only way that I could think of to help. So, here. Voila. Bon appétit.
Joni, my love. You're an adult, a woman, a wife and a mother.
Yes, I am.
You should know. I hate sardines. I've always hated sardines.
What? Well, you always seem so delighted.
Any parent would be delighted with all that love coming from a 9-year-old daughter. I mean, if Francois made you a sardine sandwich, wouldn't you eat it?
I would devour it. I'd probably ask for seconds.
Hello, parent.
Hello, parent.
Well, I'm just so happy that you're happy. Congratulations.
You've bought yourselves a beautiful home.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yes, Tom, it's for certain. And here is the best part. Now listen to this. They want a short escrow. Isn't that great?
And Elliot, it'll be a certified check for the full amount, so you'll be guaranteed your upfront money right away.
Oh, that's great, Tom. Just great.
Of course, this is subject to a final inspection, but that should be no big deal.
This used to be a darkroom. Our real mom was a photographer.
Oh, that's so.
I remember this one time, it was Halloween, I was just a little kid. We had all the lights on, and my mom had just put a big load of stuff in the washing machine, and all my sisters were drying their hair upstairs. When my dad decides to plug the stereo in, all the fuses in the whole house just blew. It was hilarious.
All the fuses?
Yeah, happens all the time. You know when there's like an overload on the system?
That is funny.
I remember this one time also, I broke my goldfish bowl, and I was keeping them in the sink over here. My dad brought me a new aquarium, but when we pulled the plug, instead of the water running down, it backed up and went all over the whole kitchen.
What made it do that?
I think it was from the roots of the trees growing through the pipes.
Roots?
But the time that really scared me was when the house caught fire.
Fire?
Fire.
Now, the seventh fairway, that's a dog leg left. And everyone tees off using a driver or a number 3 wood, and that's their mistake. Well, you catch it too good, you go right through the fairway. And you see, they're thinking power. They're not thinking position.
Mr. Bradford, call from your wife, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
Me, I use a number 4 iron, 3 max if the wind's against me.
Yes, hon, what is it?
That way, I am positioned right on the dog leg, straight shot to the green. No more than a 7 iron, 8 if the wind's behind me.
Right. Goodbye.
The problem is using that 7 iron. That green slopes down to the back, and if the shot comes in flat.
Elliot, what do you call it when someone hits a bad golf shot?
Oh, well, we say he shanked it.
Well, you know the house inspection that we made so that we could go into escrow so we could get the cashier's check so that we could give you the down payment and tie this whole thing up with a nice pink package?
Yes.
My youngest son just shanked it.
It's Tommy's idea, and it's a good one. Don't you see? None of us could do it alone.
Dad is not going to accept a handout.
No, it's not a handout. It's a partnership.
Right. We buy shares in the newspaper, understand? So the whole family owns it.
Now, wait. Explain this. How does this work?
Each of us puts in whatever we can afford to pay.
Can we really pull this thing off?
Okay, I think we're all out.
Just listen.
Davis, how much time would we have? Can we come up with enough?
One thing's for sure. We're certainly going to need a good lawyer.
I can handle the documentation quickly enough. It's fairly standard. The paralegal in my office is already on top of that. What we need to discuss is the money. If we want to make a serious offer today, we have to have evidence of hard cash, letters of credit, and so forth. Now, if we capitalize for $500,000 with shares of, say, $250 each.
I can write a check right now for $50,000 and get letters of credit on another $100,000 tomorrow if I let go of some leases I'm holding.
You'll have to put up the leasehold papers as security.
I'll call my office right now and have them sent over.
All right, David.
Great.
I think Jean-Pierre and I can match David.
Really?
An Italian company's been after us to make a movie together. We can get part of our salary in advance.
No, look, $1,000 for the guitar, it's worth a lot more. Because that's what you offered me before. Take off the neon and put on rhinestones. I don't know.
Honey, what are you looking for?
Pack this thing.
That's your life insurance policy.
You bet it is.
You're not going to jump off a building, are you?
Nope, I don't have to. There's also a clause in here my lawyer told me to have put in.
Clause about what?
Clause about career-ending injuries, like the one I got. We use part of it to buy into the paper, part of it to keep us going while I get me a coaching job somewhere.
Oh, honey.
We divided that by 250, right?
Right. Per share.
Per share. All right, so that gives us...
We were saving up for a down payment on a condo, but we just decided we didn't like the neighborhood.
All of it?
Yeah, all of it. We don't like the neighbors either.
That's
That's great. Thanks. That puts us where?
That's terrific. Okay, now we have...
How many shares is that?
Our CD.
Another 30.
I want you to count Tom and me in.
No, Abby, this is for Dad.
You said family owned. That includes Tom and me.
Listen, we have $800 in the coffee can towards our first and last month's rent. If anybody can put up the cash until we can send it to you.
Or we'll trade some services and fix up that wreck of yours.
No, don't touch that record, Maya. I'll put up the money until you get back to your coffee can stash, all right?
Oh, this is
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another 200.
Okay, how much have we got now?
A certified check for $7,500.
It was in the yellow pages. Antiques, bought and sold. Had a real fine office, but I didn't want to take a chance on his personal check, so went down to the bank with him. That's why it took so long.
Your watch.
Wasn't really an heirloom anyway. My grandfather won it in a poker game. Off a cowboy.
Great. Jim, thank you. Thank you.
All right, Jim.
Great.
Yeah. Can't you care for a bite?
No, thanks. I have my own.
It's all mine. Come on, Susan.
All right.
Is it enough?
Well, it is unless you're Godzilla.
I mean the job. Is it enough? Does it fill up all the spaces?
You mean the spaces you left?
If I did leave any.
Well, I could ask you the same thing. Your buildings and projects, are they enough? Your articles in the Architectural World?
You read architectural magazines?
Sometimes.
Can you put me down for half a share?
Well, sure, Nicholas.
All right. Oh, David, could you spot me 10?
Sure.
Great.
Oh, great.
Here you go, bud. Now, the papers are on the dining room table. Go sign it.
Hi.
No, they're not enough. And no, they don't fill up the space.
Everybody's pledged, and we're still short. I'd like to fill in the gap. Well, what could be a safer investment than a family-owned newspaper? Unless it's purely family.
It is. Purely family.
Oh.
How much can we put you down for?
A family-owned newspaper? Oh, I gotta go and see Elliot, but we better not all charge him and see if he's staring
Oh, didn't you know, Mr. Bradford? Mr. Randolph flew to San Francisco to meet Miss Stark to finalize the terms of the buyout.
Finalize? Did he say finalize?
That's what he said, yes. Is there any message you'd like to leave?
No. No message.
Night, Tom.
I wish things had turned out a little differently. You make a great team.
We had our moments. Good night, Murph. Thanks a lot. Good night, Donna.
Good night. And happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been waiting to say that all day, but you had a few things on your mind. I can't blame you for forgetting.
Oh, it's not just me. Abby and the kids never mentioned it either. But they've been in quite a state today.
They all came back for your birthday. That ought to tell you something.
It does. Thanks for everything, Donna. Good night.
Oh, Mrs. Bradford called. She said she had to go over to the job and she wants you to pick her up there. Okay, Lois, thanks a lot. See you tomorrow.
Donna?
Mr. Randolph. Can we talk?
All right.
Oh, hi, hon. Good, you're just in time. I need a volunteer to hang this. Right over there.
Oh, the place looks real nice, Abby.
Oh, thanks, Tom. That's very sweet, considering how you must be feeling after everything that's happened.
Oh, well, that's all behind me. Are you ready to go home?
Well, I was thinking that we'd eat out tonight.
Tonight? Well, I was thinking that today is my...
Well, I found this great new restaurant. Chinese?
Oh, no, I don't want to eat Chinese.
Okay, how about Italian?
Well, Italian would be better.
Well, now I'm thinking about it. Italian might be a little too heavy. I've got a great idea. Why don't we just eat here?
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you.
You didn't really think we had forgotten, did you?
You all went to... I don't know what to say. Well, this puts everything in perspective. I mean, some things are important and other things are just... Elliot! Donna!
I've been talking to Donna. Actually, I've been listening to Donna, and she's brought me up to speed on what's been going on around here, so I thought I'd just drop by and say happy birthday and congratulations to the new owners of the Sacramento Register.
Now make sure you make a wish, right? Blow them all out.
Jean-Pierre! Oh, what in the world are you doing here?
The floods, they come this way. My set, they go that way. The movie, she goes no way.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, Francois, Papa. Everyone, look who's here.
The gag's all here. Oh, this is perfect. Just perfect.
It really is. Everybody, food's over there. Interviews with Nicholas over there.
Interviews? What interviews?
What's the worst thing about being in a family of 8 kids?
Sharing the bathroom.
What's the worst thing about being the oldest of 8 kids?
I guess the fact that everybody looks up to you, right?
Okay, what's the best thing?
You get all the first toys.
What's the worst part about, being like the youngest girl in the family?
You know what the worst part is? They kept secrets from me. You know, they wouldn't tell me things.
I can relate. What's the best part?
I used to get their boyfriends.
Okay, if Dad was a pastry, what kind of pastry would he be?
What kind of a pastry would he be?
Yeah.
He'd be a donut, but he wouldn't have a hole in the middle.
If Tom Bradford was a dog, what breed would he be?
A beagle.
A beagle?
A beagle. They're adorable. I've always wanted a beagle.
If Dad was a car, what kind of car would he be?
Oh, what kind of car would Dad be? A Cadillac, I guess.
Why?
Because he's kind of conservative, but with some class.
When describing your family or us to other people, what one word will keep coming up in your mind the most?
Toilet paper.
Because we use so much?
There was never enough.
Okay. If Dad was a musical instrument, what instrument would he be?
A tuba.
Why?
I don't know.
Does having 5 sisters, did it, like, help you understand girls more?
It helped me understand them less.
Are there times when you miss the hubbub of a big family? Or do you welcome a change of just being like, you know, a couple or half of a couple?
You mean like Chuck and I?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I miss the insanity of the house, the noise and the problems and...
Dad yelling.
I don't miss Dad yelling. Dad never yelled that much. I do miss it sometimes.
When you have a big family, there is always somebody that you can turn to or ask for help or celebrate with or play with or cry with or argue with.
I was very withdrawn and quiet. I'd go back in the backyard and I'd play baseball with sticks and rocks and all this. And one time Dad came back. We had a really nice talk. And I told him that I wanted to be in Little League. And our dad bought City Hall to get his little girl in Little League. This was before little girls were allowed. And he took me to that game. I hit my first home run. And Dad made me feel like Babe Ruth.
I guess Dad's more of a dreamer, kind of more idealistic. I feel like I'm a little more practical-minded.
He'd make a great zookeeper because he can take care of so many people and so many things, and somehow it all works out. And he has all this love and this compassion that he can share with so many people. And I think if I was an animal in a zoo, I would want him to take care of me.
No, but I think Dad always kind of wanted me to know there was more to me than just having a picture taken, and that, you know, he would support me in any way that I could.
What's the biggest problem facing young people today?
Lack of direction. I think we've taught them all how to criticize and tear everything down, but we haven't given them anything to replace it with. I think too many people have that lack of direction in their life. I think we're very lucky to have it.
Okay. Thanks, Tommy.
And now for better or worse, and where have I heard that phrase before? It's time for me to give my present to Tom. Though actually, it's not just from me. It's from Tommy and me. See, I sort of came late to the Bradford family. And you were all there, in place, growing, learning, fighting. There were a lot of times that I wondered if I was up to it. Maybe I'd gotten in over my head. But then after a while, I learned that raising a family isn't a dead end. It's a staircase. It goes on and on, higher than the eye can see. And that when you kids are on that staircase, somehow, magically, you take us with you. Every step of the way. And I told Tommy some of my thoughts and feelings. And he came up with this to give to all of you.
Listen to me, I need someone who could show me how to live and to survive in this imperfect world. You are there when I need a friend, and we try both to understand that sometimes when we disagree, I need you, you need me. So given all our human needs, please take me as I am. You are there, even when I left on my own. Just to know you care will conquer walls between us now. I found my way back home. You only tried to tell me you take me as I am. You take me as I am.
To Dad. No, please, not to me. First, to this house, for all its warmth and shelter and sturdiness. It's been a calm harbor in a world full of choppy seas. A toast to the Bradford family, one and all, for all the dopey, silly things that we've done, because that's a part of us. A toast to the times that we've hurt each other and didn't understand, because, well, that's a part of us too. And finally, a toast to the fact that we're all a part of each other, and that the love in this family is stronger than that old house. It's gonna last much, much longer. I do so love you guys.
I'll drink to that.
Newsworld is next on 7, and here's a special reminder that tomorrow night, Fast Forward moves to its new time slot of each Thursday evening at 8:30. That'll be followed by the return of Unsolved Mysteries, hosted by Robert Stack. And this Friday night, join Lee Marvin and Jane Fonda in the movie classic Cat Ballou.